recently there have been some changes to the MindCrack modpack, which have now meant that you can't use one of these auto crafting tables to create biocells, which is crafting the compacted plant ball with the empty cells, which then mean you can feed it into the extractor and generate biofuel cells and run a diesel generator or otherwise. So what you now have is this nifty guy here called the automatic canning machine, and as far as I can tell, you put your inputs in here and it just does its job as long as you provide it with electricity. It is a GregTech machine, but it isn't actually too hard to create. If we just search it here, we search automatic canning machine and we just hit there. So it's your normal canning machine, which isn't actually that expensive. It's some tin, machine block and electronic circuit, and it's this conveyor module, which is slightly more expensive. It requires refined iron or aluminum ingots, an RE battery, 2 electronic circuits and some glass. So again, it's a little more expensive, but not much at all. And as far as I can tell, it works very similar to any other machine that requires EU. So here I've modified my original sugarcane farm, or sugarcane energy creator, and as you can see now it's 3 by 3 by 4. It keeps compact by using these autarkic gates that can pull things out of inventories. However, all of these autarkic gates are actually open to the air, so you can fit redstone engines in there if you've not quite gotten that far in the game. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to pan over to another little creative world and we're going to create one, because it is quite fiddly. As you can see, actually not many blocks in this 3 by 3 by 4 are free even, so we'll get going really soon now. So guys, what we're going to do now, we're going to create this as if you know exactly what's going on, as in you don't need to bother with any of the fiddling around and making sure you know what goes where, and actually working out how to make this machine. So I'll put a little annotation in the bottom in case you want to just skip ahead to where I will go and explain how everything does work and how everything links together and all that. But if you don't, then just here's the quick and easy way to create the setup. So what you need is a 3 by 3 area indicated by the inside of these lights. You need to place this as so, and then a bat box facing in here. This causes the recirculation system, which allows you to do just about everything you need. Right, so now what you need to do, as you can see over there, you just need to place this extractor here. It's very important that it faces out of your build in the same direction that this is pointing. From there we can go put these all away because we don't need them anymore. We will need all of the pipes, a wrench, probably shouldn't need the sword. We'll now get the diesel generator, compressor, the automatic canner. Okay, so now what we do is we connect diesel generator here. This is going to be supplying our power. Doesn't matter where you place this block because this will automatically decide which way it's facing. This machine has no real inputs and outputs. It generally works out what it needs to do. Next thing we need to do is now put the canner on top, and this wants to be facing in the opposite direction to your bat box. So you do that and you'll see which way it's facing because that's happening. Right, so next thing we want to do is you want to place gold pipe on top of there, diamond pipe on that, and then wooden pipe on that. You want to create iron pipe there and make sure it's directed into the canning machine. This in turn will allow you to put exactly what you need into the canning machine. So we're going to put, I'm just going to have to steal things from here. Haha. There's nothing for me to steal. Right, no. We're going to do that in a second when that's all set up. Right, so basically I'm going to need a chest, which I've managed to delete. Right, so we get a chest and you put it on the bottom of that. This bit now connects here, and all you do is you set it up so that if there are items in the inventory, it will pulse. And then what you do is you set it up, don't set it up like that. What you do is you then set this up so that you have defined positions to go to the black and the yellow into the canning machine here, and then anything else will thus be sent to green, which is really quite useful because that then just gets sent plain and simple back into the chest. Now quickly we're going to put the recirculation system in here so that we can bring stuff back from here into the chest, as we're going to want to bring back the empty cans. Oh. And use this now. Apparently the OmniWrench rotates chests, which is of course no use to me right now. So we're going to want these. We're going to want the sugarcane and the empty cells. We're going to put the autocrafter just there. As it's a bit tricky to know which way's up. Doesn't really matter because the autocrafter is pretty unique in the fact that it just doesn't care. So here we have plant balls. Plant balls now need to be taken out and put into. Oh, not there. Taken out and put into the top of the compressor. From the compressor, if you make sure it faces outwards again, you can then take the out. Oh no, you don't. You want to make sure it faces this way, or this way. Whichever way is easiest. Well, make sure it faces the extractor, because now what you can do is you can pull out of the back. Oh god, I'm confusing myself. No, you don't. Just make it face the same way as the extractor. Stop faffing around and just do it. You then want a wooden pipe there, and you then want to make sure that that's coming out of the compressor, which means you want this to be solid on the compressor. We'll now attach target gates, which say if there's something in the compressor, pulse energy. Yeah? That shouldn't. There you go, so that's off. This one, however, we just want to tell it to be always on. So what you do is you say if there is no redstone signal, pulse, because there shouldn't ever be a redstone signal there. So now we can just check to see how much of the system is complete. It's almost all done. There is one of these just missing there. But first of all, this chest, the autocrafter crafts plant balls, easy peasy. Then pumps them out into the compressor. The compressor then compresses them back into universal compressed plant balls. Compressed plant balls come this way. They can't go into the autocrafting chest. It's not a valid entry inventory, even though that is there. So it comes this way. It's then forced up into the chest. The chest is now pumping on full steam, so what it does is it will pump anything in that chest out the top. So anything that comes up here that is unknown, as in anything here that it doesn't know about, that I'm about to explain, will get pumped back into the chest. That's nice and easy. Anything to the black, which will be the cans, so we can just go in here, we'll put cans in black, we'll put things that will never turn up in the others. Again, because this doesn't actually use the item, it doesn't matter what you put in here. I put diamond pipe, really doesn't matter. So, we've put everything now here to go to black, so the cans will end up in this slot here for the canning machine. It's a bit of a new machine, so I'm not even entirely sure on exactly how it works, but all I do know, if you put the two right ingredients in here, and it doesn't matter which way around they go, what will come out will be your lovely biocells. The biocells are then not pumped anywhere right now. That's because we need to put it here. We need an target gate. It says if there's anything in the inventory, pump. And we now need an iron pipe to place there. It'll automatically pump into the extractor. That's brilliant because now our biofuel goes into the extractor, and then from there can be pumped out when it's then biofuel, and then items in the inventory, energy pulse, that'll then get pushed into our diesel engine. Now what happens is our diesel engine will then produce plain old empty cells like these. So if there's items in the inventory, pulse. This is a very, very clever machine. Basically, it works very well with these pipes. If a block goes in, it comes into the input regardless of where it comes from, as far as I know. I'm not too sure about the top of the machine, but we're using the bottom on the side. Now, because this is a buildcraft pipe pulling out the side, it'll pull from the output slot of the machine. That means our empty cells will come this way, and then go back into our chest. Miraculous. So what we'll do is we'll put empty cells in here, and we'll put sugarcane there. Now what I'm going to try and do in order to set the machine up is we're going to grab this battery, and we're temporarily going to turn the output of this off. What that allowed me to do is then pick up the plant ball. Right, got a bit of an issue here. okay, we had things go the wrong way. Yeah? So what we actually want to do is put something in there so they're not all going to come the wrong way. So again, your system does take a bit of setting up, and beware, items will probably fly around. Right, so now what we can do is we can put that in the yellow, because that's exactly what we're going to have there. Now we can turn this to pulse again, whenever there's stuff there, and then we can put all of these things back in. This should now operate fully functionally. We'll take those out there, so we don't have any issues. Now, as you can see, plant balls coming around the top, and we'll go into here. So, as before, I used this machine just to get it kick-started. We used a little bit of RE. So we'll just use that, and that will get the machine rolling. The machine will then pump this out here, all the way in. I've got that set up wrong. Oh, too slow. It's gone right in and out. So we need to catch this here before it goes out again. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yep, I can do it. So, if I had set this up right, that would just go straight in there. Now, as you can see, the iron pipe will just go in there. And again, we can use a bit of RE power. Then we'll just get that hooked up. And then that will go into the liquid generator. So, we're using this small bit of RE power to begin with. So, RE power, EU, doesn't take very much. I've drained about half of the battery. You don't even have to drain that much, because all you have to do is fill the machines. And I know I put more than I had to in the automatic crafting, automatic canning machine. It has a huge inventory. So we've now got that there. Put the plant balls in. No, because the plant balls don't go in. But now we can see what happens when something miscellaneous gets entered into the inventory. It does just drop out. But now if we just put them in there, like they're meant to be, that goes. And as you can see, that's burning away. That is generating EU at a reasonable pace. Again, it's not amazing, but guys, it's completely free. All you need is a frigging wooden golem, a straw golem, and a pipe. I mean, seriously, getting sugarcane is so easy. Setting up a battery of these wouldn't even be hard. As far as I know, that's low voltage, which means it'll go into all of your machines, which is also the reason why this bat box hasn't exploded. Now you can see this is draining. That's because this and all of these things are using energy. Yeah, they do. So you don't actually get the full amount from biofuel, which will create... well, the biofuel cell will create 6,000 EU. And of course you don't actually get the full 6,000 out, because compressing plant balls takes energy, canning machine now takes energy, and the extractor also takes energy. But it's not an incredible amount, so don't worry, you're still getting more than half the EU, I think. I'll calculate the numbers out and put that at the bottom of the tutorial. So, that's done there. Hooray! Now what we're going to do is we're going to build this from scratch, but thinking about what's happening. While some of the placements of pipes and things are a little nonsensical when you do this, it just allows you to get this very compressed output. So we'll start here, and now what you need to do to start off with, we're going to place our chest. And again, bit of a nonsensical placement, but we're going to do that. Now, of course, what we need to do is, first step is we need to create our First step is we need to create our plant balls. So we'll do that. We've now created plant balls. Now we need to take them out. So we'll take them out at the bottom. And we just want to turn this always going. So that's nice and easy. And then we want to put this into the chest. So that goes into the chest. Yeah? Brilliant. So now what happens, I'll stop turning, I just want to look inside. So now what happens is this will automatically craft as many plant balls as it physically can. Great. Except it doesn't want to go in there. What it actually wants to do, as I'll show you just over here with a pre-running model, is we want to pump it into the top of a compressor. So if I put the compressor down, we're going to want to take outputs from its side, so we'll put that there. Yeah. And now I will put this up here. And we'll turn it round, put an Antarctic gate which just says go for it. And we'll break this. That pipe can stay because we are going to want it. But now these plant balls will have entered here. Good. Next step is to remove these plant balls, which needs to be done from the compressor like that. We then sit that on, just say if there's an item in the inventory, pulse away, because this is looking at the side inventory, so it'll look out there. Brilliant. So, now what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of EU into this to get the system moving, because if we can get the system moving, then it'll all work nice and fine. So the next step with all of this is to set up the canning machine. The automatic canning machine is a bit of an awkward beast, I've found. It requires an input on the top and the side. So we can say items inventory, and we're not going to hit that yet, because of course we just get items spewing all over the place. So the beast that is the extractor requires an input on both the top and the bottom. Yeah, that is awkward, but I have no idea why it places that whenever I click on it. But anyway, so the side input will be this one, and the top input will be this. We can designate that by our beautiful diamond pipe. So, we will get search. We'll get a stack of empty cans, and now we've got a compressed plant ball. Good, because that's what we need to put into our pipe. It doesn't matter which way round you put these, but so long as they are actually at there, then that'll function fully. So what I've done now is actually I'll take out green. So now yellow output is defined. If the plant ball comes up here, there you go, compressed plant ball here comes out, we'll see it go actually. So the compressed plant ball comes out and it gets this diamond pipe and goes, where do I need to go? And the diamond pipe says black. So, get going. As you can see, the iron pipe wasn't set up, so just remember you have to set them up right. And as you see there, it got here, and because it came from the black, it couldn't then be told to go back to black. But as you can see now, the canning machine is filling up nicely just here. So what we'll do is we'll fill that up, and now it comes through into there. Awesome! So that now cans our bio cells. Next step we're going to have to do is we're going to have to extract the bio cells to make biofuel. And then once we've made the biofuel, we can then pump that all the way into our marvellous diesel generator. So the diesel generator will go there. And again, you've got to be careful because iron pipes can sometimes reset themselves. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but they do. So we'll then place that, rotate that round so it's the right way. Items in inventory, energy pulse, and we'll fill this guy up. Right, so now all that really needs to be done is we've got to create a pipe that takes the all of the empty cans out of the outslot, and we also need to get power around to our other machines, because of course these old machines do require power, so there's little point in not supplying it to them. So that's all we actually need to do to create power. However, it's always a good idea to have a small internal battery, if you like, for any machine that does require power to operate, because this guy will keep going and it does take a little bit of energy. So we put power cables there and a bat box. Now of course this bat box is filling. Hooray! Now of course not only is the bat box filling, but it will then drain whenever it needs to, as that's just what it does. As you can see, it's keeping this filled up, so it's not actually it's actually now draining. Good. Right, so the last step is to recirculate the old cans so that we don't have to keep sinking aluminium or tin into the system, and we do that simply by hooking the iron pipe up to this here. And once we've hooked that up there, all we've got to do is place a gate, say items in inventory, and get going. And what it does, because this system is really quite good at interacting with the Buildcraft pipe, it'll just work it out. You can see that's gone, and it zipped can out, and the can went back in there, and is now already up at the top, ready for more canning. Now that, guys, is our system. So, I realise this has been a bit rushed. I do hope you enjoy it. It's almost out. It shouldn't quite reach out, I don't think. There you go. Oh, I did clip. But, you know, now we're burning away. And once this system has gotten up and running, it'll work nice and easily. So, this has been Vralka. I do hope you enjoyed this slightly rushed tutorial, I'm afraid. But again, this new canning machine is quite new. I quite like it. It reduces the efficiency of my machine, but hey, I'm sure I can get over that. And I will see you all in my next LP episode. I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you liked it, leave me a message, give the video a like, maybe even subscribe if you think I did that well. I hope you can all use this in your worlds. I know I will. Until next time, ta-ta. Guys, have you noticed the mistake? Well, I really hope you have, because there are two in this build. Neither of them are very hard to solve. One is this gate up here will always suck everything out of the chest. Of course, what this means is that if you've got anything unfortunate enough to be sugarcane, what it'll do is it will just circulate or spew out on the ground or whatever. So simply place a chest there, and now this is your sugarcane chest, and the rest of the inventories will operate. Brilliant. Basically what this then happens is this will suck out here. The next problem we may have is sometimes this here Mr. Auto Crafting Table spits this out into two directions, unfortunately, because of the iron pipe. Now the iron pipe will then try and put our plant ball into here in the canning machine. This of course breaks the entire setup, so all you have to do, very simply, take a diamond pipe and right click there. Oh, okay. And now what we've got is we have two directions we want to send things. Red we want to send for the plant balls that go into the compressor. So we'll get a plant ball. Okay. And then the other ones are the compressed plant balls, which we have already sent to yellow. Sorry, we want then the empty cells, which I'll need to get one. Get an empty cell. Brilliant, we get an empty cell. So all we need to do is yellow is the empty cell and red is this plant ball. So red is the plant ball, yellow is the empty cell, and now everything will go in here as properly, and if the plant ball comes out and accidentally goes into the iron pipe, instead of being pushed into the canning machine, it'll now get pushed into the compressor. So now I realise this does increase the size of this a little bit, but it's not too bad. One thing you could do no, I was going to say you could put it on top, but of course that means that this will then connect, and that's not good. So here, or just here, depending on where you need it to go, will fix those issues. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. This was Vralka. Please join me for my Let's Play. I do a lot of similar things like this. I hope to see you around. Ta-ta for now.